Mototrailcolombia takes you to the best spots to ride new trails in Colombia while enjoying stunning views. In the previous video, we made it from Medellin to Guatape to search for new motorcycle trails and hopefully find nice waterfalls and rivers. I stayed at Adriana's Bamboo Lodge in Guatape since it is a strategic hub from where you can get to San Rafael and Alejandria, then from Alejandria to Concepcion, 3 towns hosting rivers, waterfalls and trails. I spent 3 nights at the lodge. The cabin for one person is $20 the night, but there are different choices with cabins up to 7 people, including a cottage with swimming pool for 25 people. The lodge is located 10 minutes from downtown Guatape, and they offer 3 meals with just breakfast included in the room's price. They offer shuttle transport from and to the airport, as well as a great deal of information about tour trips in the area and what to do. The place is full of fauna, mainly colorful birds, although they showed me videos of average-sized monkeys inhabiting the trees, and they told me that they have seen average-sized wildcats too. And this is a trail you can walk into the woods. That's where we came from. That's the trail, and I was left here on my own. It was my own decision because, well, a little bit of adrenaline doesn't bother. So they told me that here you can watch monkeys and birds and other species. Okay, so that's a trail where I'm gonna go maybe for 5-10 more minutes. After coming back from the trail, I grabbed the motorbike and went closer to the dam to explore its banks. It was a cool ride, not only because of the unknown stunning landscape that opens up in front of the path, but also because of the feeling of a wet soil that swallows the tires, which adds a bit of the kind of fun that the pavement cannot provide. It was for sure a lot of fun, and there was a lot more I had to explore in that specific trail. But I was really hungry and craving for a bite, so I left with a feeling of an unfinished task that is definitely calling for a comeback. About a mile east from the lodge, there is a cozy steak place where you can eat sausage, pork cracklings, grilled potatoes, and have a hot or cold drink. Ready now for the next day to explore a 13 miles trail for 54 minutes to Alejandria and visit at least one river and one waterfall. It's a very sunny day and the road is generous to offer a bit of pavement before we hit the off-road for about an hour. And these are the rocks and stones that will be bumping into the tires for the most part of the 54-minute trip, which is really a joy for the Suzuki DR200. From time to time, a car passes you by or a motorcycle, but I can't deny that a bit of loneliness is appreciated with these landscapes. These cement roads with stripe patterns at the level of the tires of a car are very common in the Colombian villages. When traveling by motorcycle in Colombia, you need to be aware that Google Maps will suggest these stripe patterns cement roads as shortcuts to your destination. But you should ask the locals if that road is safe. Otherwise, you should keep going down the paved road, especially if it's getting dark. Despite its size, Alejandria is formally considered a municipality, and it's one of many municipalities where its founders valued the beauty of the rivers and the waterfalls of the area. You can go straight from Medellin to Alejandria on a trip of 55 miles for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Or you can add 30 more minutes to your trip and detour down Guatape, then Alejandria. One way to know that you're about to approach the town is when the shoes of your motorbike are rolling on pavement. Finally, welcome to Alejandria. Introducing one of my weaknesses, churros and coconut milk lemonade. That day, I was late for the fair they hold every week in the main square where they trade horses and cattle. It was no doubt a very nice town, but I had been recommended to know Concepcion too, which is 10 miles, 30 minutes from Alejandria. There are a couple of rivers and waterfalls between Alejandria and Concepcion, and I was of course curious to know about them. This is one of the rivers before we get to Concepcion. There are more than 50 rivers in Colombia. The longest ones are from 248 miles up to 956 miles, and the region with the largest numbers of rivers is the Orinoco Basin with 17 of them. Our next stop is the municipality of Concepcion. The first inhabitants of this region were the indigenous people of the Caribs, and later it was inhabited by miners who named the municipality after the Immaculate Conception. The walls in Concepcion are like canvases. I wonder whose great idea was to decorate houses with shapes and colors that really please our sight. The people inhabiting the town must really be artists. Wherever you turn, there's a creative idea of decoration using different materials. Different from other Colombian towns, like in the Atlantic, for example, Concepcion is so quiet that it makes you wonder if there are people living in each house. There's a walk on one side of the town along the river, accompanied by stunning vegetation on the right that leads you through gorgeous bamboo structures, like a park growing up before your sight while you advance. The church was built in 1770 after a decree issued by a priest from Medellin, and from 1885 the population started livestock and agriculture activities. All the houses from outside do not show any garden. The facades are continuous. Nevertheless, from this aerial view, most houses seem to have a yard with vegetation or trees. The mountain at the end of this street is the lookout of the Immaculate Virgin, where locals celebrate processions and pilgrimage to honor this religious belief. This is half the climb to the lookout, where you can almost see the whole town, and my body already started feeling a faster heartbeat. And finally, we can have a pleasant time at the top of the lookout and let our body take a break before we go down the mountain, while appreciating the quietness of the place. I chose a hotel in the town since obviously noise is out of the equation here. I loved the fact that it had a small balcony, a nice view of the mountains, and the night was $10. The stay at the hotel does not include breakfast, so I made myself one with what I bought at a store in front of the hotel, and later I left to see the waterfall known as Matasano before going back to Alejandria. That was Matasano, one of the waterfalls of the area. The water on my back felt like a massage and it was really relaxing. All the vegetation and the fresh water made it a special place to feel at peace. It was the end of the trip and I had to go back to Guatape, where I had all my stuff in order to pack up and start my way back to Bogota, going through Medellin for a trip of 9 hours or 261 miles. Keep tuned for my next trip to explore more spots in Colombia, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it.